It is one of the few nights a year when Washington gets to be funny on purpose. Last night, politicians, journalists, and celebrities gathered with the First Family for the 98th annual White House Correspondents' Dinner in Washington. And our buddy, Pete Dominic, was there, rubbing elbows with everyone. He's a comedian and the host of political talk show Stand Up on Sirius XM. There were so many funny lines last night, Pete. We've been listening to some of them. But let's start off by taking a quick listen to the president showcasing his stand-up.
Even Sarah Palin's getting back into the game. Guest hosting on the Today Show, which reminds me of an old saying. What's the difference between a hockey mom and a pit bull? A pit bull is delicious.
So as a guy with lots of stand-up under your belt, what do you think? How did the Commander-in-Chief do?
He did excellent, as he always does. I mean, the whole key, Randy, is to, if he's going to make fun of people, you just saw him take a shot kind of at Sarah Palin, but he took shots at Donald Trump and Newt Gingrich and, of course, Mitt Romney. But you get away with that as a comedian, but especially when you're the president, the commander-in-chief, if you self-deprecate. And he spent so much time making fun of himself and the mistakes of his administration. He opened with the whole open mic bit, making fun of that. And he took so many shots at himself. He gets away with taking shots at other people. But the whole idea, I mean, you got to give credit to the writers. And he even had graphics people putting together 2 videos. So he had a lot of people helping him. But he did a great job and even timed his wink perfectly.
Oh, wow. Sounds like you're impressed. All right, but we know that the hosting honors, of course, went to comedian Jimmy Kimmel, who spared no one, even the president. Take a quick listen.
It's an honor to be here. You know, he told me when I was a kid that I would be sitting on the same dais with President Barack Obama. I would have said, the president's name is Barack Obama? Mr. President, you remember when the country rallied around you in hopes of a better tomorrow? That was hilarious.
I have been laughing at this stuff all morning, Pete. How do you think Jimmy Kimmel did?
He did fantastic. Jimmy is a hilarious guy and a great guy, really nice guy, class act. And that joke was probably one of his most brutal. I read one website today said he went easy on the president. He didn't go easy on anybody. He took shots at everybody, and Jimmy did a great job hosting. And everybody was dying laughing in the room. It was a lot of fun.
And I hear that you had some pretty great seats. You must have slipped somebody a 20 or something, because I understand you had a chance to eavesdrop on a conversation between Defense Secretary Leon Panetta and director Steven Spielberg. What were they talking about? Well,
of course, they were talking about Star Wars and raspberries. There were some raspberries being served, but of course they do have the Star Wars thing in common. But it was surreal. At one point, you know, Jimmy Kimmel, I think, said something about the Bin Laden raid, which was a year ago, and I literally patted Secretary of Defense on the shoulders because, of course, he was the head of the CIA and spearheaded. That was a surreal moment. But yeah, I don't know how I got so close, but it was amazing for me and for my wife. We're looking at some of these pictures. I mean, my wife had such a great time, it was really weird because George Clooney came up and said, "Please, Pete, let me get a picture with your wife."
Oh,
and
yeah,
so,
right.
Yeah, we got a picture with George Clooney. I had to jump over Attorney General Eric Holder to get to Sandra Fluke. That was a little surreal. And the greatest moment was when my wife actually had a conversation with the First Lady and said, "Oh, I love you." My wife's a big fan, as many women are, of the First Lady. And the First Lady said, "Do you want me to wave or something?" And she did, and there's that picture right there.
That is such a great shot.
Yeah, it was just such a, that was a very special moment for my wife, getting a picture with Michelle Obama, who they had a conversation with, and of course, George Clooney begging me to get a picture of my wife.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was mobbed. And Kim Kardashian begging to get a picture with me was a little awkward. I ended up not taking the shot, Randy.
Oh, well, listen, it looks like a lot of fun. I'm glad you were able to wake up with us. I know you got to get that rental tux back, right? This morning?
Yes. Got to get this back to the small men's warehouse. Yes.
All right. Well, you better get on your way, Pete. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy.
And thanks for starting your morning with us. I'll be back at the top of the hour. Sanjay Gupta, MD, begins right now.